It's a regular morning in Madrid, and life moves on as usual. Sergio, a salesman, is making calls to pitch his latest products. Israel, a homeless man, gets kicked off the streets by the police again. Trini, a gambling addict, begs the grocer to put today's groceries on her tab. Meanwhile, young Elena is excitedly telling her friend about a date with a guy she met online. But just as she's talking, her phone dies. Looking for a charger, she steps into a nearby bar for a coffee, hoping that Satter, one of the employees, might help her. Before moving forward, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It will help us keep bringing your favorite movie recaps. Right behind her, a sickly man, coughing badly, rushes into the bar and heads straight for the bathroom. This irritates Amparo, the owner, who's fed up with people using her toilets without buying anything. Then Israel barges in too. He knows Amparo will give him food for free. He loudly recites Bible verses, annoying everyone, including a restless bank clerk, a street cleaner, and a former cop named Andres. But Nacho, lost in his music, doesn't seem to notice. Soon after, Sergio and Trini also enter. Trini, desperate as ever, is ready to gamble away her last bit of cash on the slot machine. The bank clerk, frustrated by the slow service, gets up to leave. But the moment he steps outside, bang, a gunshot. He collapses. Panic erupts. People on the street run for their lives, while inside the bar, fear spreads like wildfire. Nacho, still wearing his headphones, takes a moment to realize something is wrong. With no phone signal inside, calling the police is impossible. The street cleaner decides to risk it. He steps outside to check on the fallen man. A second shot rings out. He drops. Inside, the bar descends into chaos. People dive to the floor, their hearts pounding. And in the middle of it all, Israel just laughs, muttering verses from the Bible as if nothing is happening. Israel wants to leave because he has church today, but Amparo convinces him to stay by offering more food and promising to speak to the priest later. Meanwhile, Trini carefully grabs the remote and turns on the TV. As she flips through the channels, the group notices something disturbing. No news is covering the brutal deaths that just happened in the streets of Madrid. Not a single mention. It's as if it never happened. While they argue about this strange silence, Trini glances outside and sees something even more unsettling. The bodies are gone. Not just that, but there isn't a single drop of blood left. Who took them? And why didn't they check on the group? Confused and on edge, they try to distract themselves by watching TV or chatting while waiting for help. Satter starts throwing out wild theories. Maybe this is all a dream. Maybe they've been abducted by aliens or even the government. Annoyed, Amparo slaps him back to reality. The group refocuses and starts piecing things together. Elena wonders if the two victims were connected, but it seems unlikely. A street cleaner and a bank clerk? Meanwhile, Sergio has a chilling thought. What if the shooter isn't a criminal? What if it's the police? Maybe they got a tip that a dangerous criminal is inside the bar, but they don't know who, so they're shooting anyone who comes out. If it's someone really dangerous, like a terrorist with a bomb, they wouldn't take any chances. This could explain why the area is on lockdown and why the cops aren't storming in. As the group debates, Nacho quietly moves to hide his bag, but he's caught. Sergio and Andres grab him, while Satter snatches the bag. He hesitates, unsure if he should open it. Amparo takes charge, unzipping the bag and revealing just clothes and a hard drive. Nacho insists it's only work files, but tensions explode. Then, without warning, Elena snatches the drive, throws it on the floor, and stomps it to pieces. She glares at the group and scoffs. Stop acting like scared little kids. Nacho is furious. Just because of his beard, people suspect him. And because he ignored the gunshot, now he's being treated like a criminal. In frustration, he points at Sergio's suitcase, accusing him of the same thing. Amparo grabs the suitcase, but Sergio tries to snatch it back. Before he can, Satter jumps in to protect his boss, only to get punched by Sergio. Shocked, Andres pulls out a gun, forcing Sergio to stop. In the chaos, Israel seizes the moment and snatches the suitcase. He quotes the Bible, then opens it, but instead of something dangerous, it's filled with lingerie. That's what Sergio sells. Before they can react, a strange noise echoes from the bathroom. They had completely forgotten about the sick man inside. The door is locked, so Andres fires his gun to break it open. Inside, they find the man collapsed over the toilet, his ears bleeding, a strange syringe lying next to him. Suddenly, another noise draws their attention, this time from outside. A truck pulls up, carrying masked agents. The group cries for help, but the agents ignore them. Instead, they pile up tires outside the bar and set them on fire. Thick, dark smoke rises into the sky, appearing on TV. The news reports a massive fire in Madrid. That's when it clicks. The government started this fire. They're covering up a massacre. The sick man stumbles out of the bathroom, barely able to stand. He drops his phone, gasps, "Don't touch me," and collapses dead. Nacho grabs the phone. Scrolling through the photos, they make a chilling discovery. The man was military. He worked in Africa, and in the pictures, a group of men in hazmat suits. Then, it all makes sense, this man brought back a deadly disease. That's why the area was evacuated. That's why anyone inside the bar is being shot on sight. Most likely, they're all already infected. With no way out, they try to distract themselves while waiting for the inevitable. Israel prepares the sick man's body for funeral prayers. Meanwhile, Elena and Nacho check the phone. It only has 10% battery left. Desperate, Nacho climbs onto a chair, reaching for a weak signal near the ceiling. He dials a co-worker. The TV is lying, he says. Thinking Nacho isn't acting fast enough, Satter snatches the phone from him and frantically yells for help. But the person on the other end assumes it's a prank and hangs up. Nacho panics. He's not sure if there's enough battery left for another call. Desperate, he and Satter fight over the phone, struggling so hard that the chair they're on breaks, sending them crashing to the floor and knocking into everyone around them. The chaos causes Trini to slam into a slot machine, which suddenly hits the jackpot, spewing out a flood of coins. Israel immediately starts collecting them. Meanwhile, Andres wants to turn with the phone, but Amparo warns him not to touch it. It used to belong to the sick man. In fact, she wants everyone who made contact with him to stay far away. Andres and Sergio agree, deciding to take precautions. They quickly separate from the group, hiding behind the counter with Amparo. Elena finds this ridiculous. They've all been together for hours, touching the same things, breathing the same air. But the trio refuses to listen. Andres even pulls out a gun, threatening the others. He forces them to take the sick man's body down to the storeroom. Nacho resists, but when Andres fires a shot at the slot machine to prove he's serious, he has no choice but to obey. Israel is slow to react, too busy quoting Bible verses. To get him moving, Amparo hands him 2 bottles of alcohol as a bribe. Down in the dimly lit, filthy storeroom, the group waits, trying to pass the time. But Trini, who's claustrophobic, starts to panic. She scrambles up the stairs, banging on the door, but it won't budge. In her frenzy, she knocks over a box of glass bottles, shattering them. Nacho notices something odd. There's no liquid pooling on the ground. That means there must be a drain. They push some things aside and find it. When they lift the lid, they realize it leads to the sewers. It's not too deep, so Israel volunteers to go down. Stripping down to his underwear, he smears oil over his body to squeeze through the narrow opening. But even with the others pushing, he gets stuck. Then, gunshots. A group of people has entered the bar. From upstairs, they hear the sound of Amparo, Andres, and Sergio being shot. The air grows hotter. Smoke starts seeping from under the door. Someone has set a fire inside the bar. It's meant to disinfect the place, but at this rate, they'll suffocate. Desperate, Elena, Nacho, and Satter work together to pull Israel out of the drain, hoping to get some fresh air from the sewers. Meanwhile, Trini panics. She rushes to open the door, but burns her hands on the scorching metal. The group quickly covers her burns with oil and wraps them in toilet paper, trying to keep her calm. They wait, holding their breath, until the noise outside fades. Nacho cautiously pushes the door open with a broom. The bar is burned, but the bodies are gone. The door has been sealed off by the authorities. Whatever happened here, they don't want anyone to see it. Realizing it's time to leave the storeroom, the group steps out. Nacho spots Andres' gun and shoves it into his pants, ignoring the searing heat against his skin. Trini wants to go outside and get help, but Nacho stops her. If anyone knows they're still here, they're as good as dead. So far, none of them feel sick. Nacho believes that if they just stay hidden for a few days, people will forget about this mess. There's plenty of food and water in the storeroom. They can wait it out. Suddenly, a noise makes them jump. But it's not a threat. It's just the sick man's phone buzzing with messages. Elena checks it and discovers something chilling. A friend had been checking on him, worried. He'd had a fever for days and knew he was being followed. He entered the bar not just to use the bathroom, but to inject himself with something, a stolen experimental serum. It didn't save him. He'd already been sick for too long. But the group? They aren't showing symptoms yet. Maybe, just maybe, the serum will work for them. Just then, the phone starts ringing. It's the same person from the text. Nacho hesitates. What if it's a trap? He takes so long to decide that the phone battery dies. Satter rushes upstairs, hoping to find a charger. Meanwhile, Elena suddenly remembers something. A message had mentioned Ferdows's left. The group panics and checks the body, but there's nothing there. They sprint to the bathroom. Israel gets there first and finds a box containing 4 syringes. Realizing he now holds all the power, he starts humming a tune. Ferdows's. 5 people. Who gets left out? While the others argue, Israel makes his move. He injects himself, assuming they'll sacrifice the homeless man. Nacho pulls out a gun, but hesitates when Elena warns that a gunshot will alert the cops outside. Instead, he lunges at Israel, trying to beat him down. But Israel is stronger. He wrestles Nacho off and takes control of the gun. When Satter reaches for the syringes, Israel strikes him, sending the box flying into the storeroom. Trini dashes downstairs and grabs it, but with her bandaged hands, she fumbles. The box slips straight into the sewers. Now, someone has to crawl through the narrow opening to get it back. There's only one option: Elena. She strips down, covers herself in oil, and squeezes into the hole. The rough edges scrape her thighs, drawing blood. She grits her teeth and pushes forward. Then, she drops, plunging into the filthy, murky water below. Elena quickly finds the box of syringes, but she refuses to tie them to the wire Nacho is lowering. She knows the others will use them all and leave her with nothing. She wants to be better than them, so she won't use one either. If they want to talk about it, they'll have to come down themselves. While the group works on widening the hole with a pipe, Elena explores. She stumbles upon a storm drain, hides the syringes in a hole in the wall, and takes a peek outside. The streets are swarming with cops and special agents, clearing bodies from the bar. Back at the storeroom, the men have already crawled through and are helping Trini, but her wild movements send everyone tumbling into the water. Satter and Trini manage to climb out, but Nacho uses the moment to tackle Israel, trying to take back the gun. A fight erupts underwater. Shots are fired. When Nacho resurfaces, he claims Israel shot first and vanished into the water after Nacho grabbed the gun. The group suspects Nacho killed him. Israel, meanwhile, grows more dangerous by the second. Frustrated with the chaos, Elena demands Nacho get rid of the gun if he wants her to lead them to the syringes. But instead, Nacho threatens to shoot Satter, forcing Elena to give in. As they move, Trini secretly drops coins from Israel's stolen bag to mark their path. Reaching a dark tunnel, Trini suddenly cries out, blaming Satter for pushing her, when in reality, she's the one shoving him into the water. Pretending to help, she grabs his head and forces him under, trying to drown him. Nacho fires a shot to see what's happening and catches her in the act. He immediately jumps in to save Satter. The group moves to a brighter tunnel, keeping Trini at gunpoint. But Nacho hesitates. He can't bring himself to shoot her. Trini admits she hates being seen. She grabs the gun and disappears around a corner, seemingly to end things on her own. The remaining trio finds the syringes and divides them. Just as they think it's over, they hear the unmistakable sound of coins hitting the ground. They go to check what's happening and discover Trini's body, her eyes covered with coins. But it's a trap. While they're distracted, Israel sneaks up behind them and kills Satter. He then chases after Elena and Nacho, forcing them to flee through the dark tunnels. Desperate, they reach a staircase leading outside. As they climb, Elena stumbles, dropping her syringe. Israel catches up and grabs Nacho. Realizing there's no escape, Nacho hands Elena his syringe, then lets go of the stairs, dragging Israel down with him to their deaths. Tears streaming down her face, Elena injects herself. With all her strength, she pushes against the manhole cover until it finally gives way. She climbs out, only to find herself outside the containment zone. People stare, shocked by her appearance. A man asks if she's okay. A woman offers her a jacket, but Elena doesn't respond. Dazed, she stumbles forward, completely lost in her thoughts. She doesn't even notice when she walks past the guy she was supposed to meet for a date. He calls her name. She doesn't stop. She just keeps walking. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.